All right, welcome in everybody. Monday's edition of Daily Bread coming at you live right at 1:25 on the East Coast for Monday night's bets in college hoops, the NBA, and the NFL. We got a huge slate tonight because 37 D1 teams are not in action. You got a lot of D1s versus D1s and then a few D1s versus non D1 teams. Every NBA team is in action today since they are off tomorrow for election day. And then we got the Saints versus the Ravens. So plenty of ways to be making some money. And you're at the number one spot to be making sure you get that Venmo and Cash App payment from your bookie each weekend, and it's not going the other way around. It's all powered and sponsored by the Wise Guys Diamond Club. Be sure to be hopping into their DMs for a weekend, week, or month package. We're live on Twitter. Hit the link up in the title if you want to be featured with our subs. We got the best ones out there. Chuck's already bringing the heat for me since more contract disputes going on. We had a what can we say yesterday? It was a mental health day. Is the
Yeah,
best
I
way to
mean,
do it.
listen, I'll be totally honest with you guys. I reached out to Rex and simply said, I sent him a heart emoji and I said, at least you got the birds. That was the only communication I had with Rex the entire day yesterday. I had no desire to even text him, hit him up. I knew what he was doing. I knew his plan for the weekend because we talk all the time. But there was just yesterday was just a recovery day. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's watched his team, have rough times prior. Listen, it's never fun to lose, and I'm not going to force. I can't say anything else about it. I hate losing, just like the next guy. Um, I'm not a Philadelphia Union fan per se, but that was one of the roughest situations I've ever seen in a sporting event. So we're right back with it. It's going to be a great Monday. Lots of stuff on the horizon. I mean, we got every single NBA team in action tonight, and 199 college basketball games altogether, which is an insane number. We also got Monday Night Football, so we've been blessed with a hell of a slate. A lot of really, really, really good games across the board tonight in all sports. So,
Yep, and we appreciate everyone tapped into Sunday morning QBs yesterday because we bring in all the top analysts in the game. Then we had paid for play on Saturday as well. So we had a good college football Saturday to kind of make up for, being on the wrong end of supposedly the greatest MLS game of all time. And then today at 4 p.m., calling the shots. We're going to have a Twitter Spaces to make sure we bring in the top analysts as well in the NBA atmosphere to give you the best bets of the day since we can't have an episode tomorrow since there'll be no action. So if you want to join the team, if you want to drop some plays, be sure to be following Calling the Shots, Twitter Spaces. 2.5 hours away? Yeah, something like that.
hey man, listen, I'm like I said, I am excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight. What do we
Do you
get?
want to talk about the NFL weekend yesterday first, or Reich, or what?
Sure.
We
Let's
can
talk
go
about Frank
McKinney.
Reich.
We can go McKinney go in an ATV accident any way you want to go.
Well, I told everybody that Reich would eventually get fired. I mean, anytime you make a linear move to sit down a quarterback that you traded for, who you're paying X amount of dollars as the number one quarterback on the team, when you basically say that the backup's going to play the rest of the year, that's a linear move. We are not equipped to win. We are not ready to win. We're not going to win our division. We're going to shut shit down and we're going to hit the reset button. Obviously, it's a little weird. Jeff Saturday being the guy they call. I mean, he works on ESPN right now. He's going to become the interim head coach in Indy. Obviously, his history in the franchise is another thing. Um, again, this is Ursay. Ursay tried his best to not get in the way. He gave Ballard and he gave Reich every opportunity to figure out the situation at quarterback. He gave him a bunch of money for the offensive line, invested in the defense, paid every player that was even remotely good. He paid Kenny Moore. He paid Darius Leonard. Well, Shaq Leonard now. Ursay is very. I think he's just frustrated as an owner. I mean, when you give the coach every opportunity to pick the quarterback left and right, he goes with three guys who, weren't good at the end, and they should have quit. I don't usually condone players quitting, but they should have quit. Listen, quitting this year, I understand. They went through all the hoopla and bullshit when they had to deal with Hard Knocks last year. And we watched Carson Wentz just fucking lay an egg in multiple situations where he could have just gotten them to the playoffs. If this team made the playoffs last year, we'd be having a different conversation. Reich would have gotten another pass after another pass after another pass. Like you said, it's time to hit the reset button. It's pretty clear. It's time. You struck out on 3 vets. You got to just go lose and try to get one of these young guys. I think that's really where it lies at this point for this particular situation. As far as yesterday, Tua Tagovailoa still undefeated in games he started and finished for the Miami Dolphins this season. Josh Allen lost again. That brings me very much happiness. To the Jets, no less. What else? Geno Smith continues to play very well for Seattle. I'm not a fan of them, but obviously as a Niner fan, you're very aware of what's going on in your division. Also, the Rams losing. Tom Brady is now 1-0 as a divorcee. Good for him. Sometimes that's what you need, right? I'm just kidding. That sounded really insensitive and disrespectful. Nonetheless, it's the truth. The Rams season looks to be cooked. Arizona Cardinals season looked to be cooked. They're bad. Their coach should have never gotten the job that he's gotten, yet he is the head coach. Should have never gotten the job in Arizona. Has no cachet as a professional football coach in any capacity. Should have never got the job. Simple as that for me. Other than that,
yeah, you basically hit on all the big things. The Titans mucked up the game last night to make sure they kept it close. Couldn't get the full revenge, but taking some nice shots on the field, making sure every play ended with players helmet to helmet, essentially.
Absolutely. And again, man,
shout out to Travis Etienne and the Jags, though.
Facts. That's another fact. Shout out to him. Listen, when they traded James Robinson, we knew that was the move for the team, right? Like that was them basically saying, "Hey, Travis Etienne, it's your job. Go handle it at the best of your abilities." He's looked like a gem. They won yesterday. How about Oakland giving up their third 17-point lead this season? We've been saying that McDaniels isn't the guy. I think it's time we start being honest about things. He is not the guy. He should have never got the job, and I think he needs to go.
I believe he's lost his last 23 of his 30 games as a NFL head coach. So, yeah, that's not
He's awful. I mean, some guys just can't be the leader of the ship. I understand it fully, I get it. I feel you. I feel him on that one. I mean, sometimes you can't be the guy, and he's not the guy. Sorry to break the news to people. He's just not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
All right. Before we get into our best bets of the day, NBA, like we said, we'll do it a little bit more rapid fire since we got the spaces at 4 p.m. College hoops, we'll do that quick as well since huge slate. Give you the rapid fire plays, and then we'll give you our Monday night football analysis. But Sosa, you get 30 minutes to gloat about the Irish. Go.
Hey, man, I don't even need 30 minutes. I got 30 seconds. I'll take 30 seconds, though. I told you guys so. That's really where I stand when it comes to my football team. New coach, new players. You got to give them a little moment to get it together and figure it out. They figured it out. I can't wait till we have a quarterback next year because the defense is going to be dominant every year as long as Marcus Freeman is the head coach. It's more of an indictment on Tommy Rees, who we retained as the highest paid assistant in college football. He finally has gotten something out of the offense, even though the offense is nowhere near as good. I also warned people at the beginning of the year that, we would struggle a little bit offensively simply because we were extremely thin at receiver. We've been decimated by injury. Nobody seems to mention that because half the guys got hurt in fall practice, early fall practice. So it is what it is. Beating a top 5 team is always fun, especially at home. Shout out to Marcus Freeman. Shout out to my guys getting it done. And also shout out to Brian Kelly. Obviously, I came on.
It's a lot more than 30 seconds, but you can keep going.
I'm sorry. I popped on paid for play. I gave out 2 underdog money lines. They both hit. They both smacked. Everybody was scared. I told y'all wasn't no Bible study on Saturdays where I'm from. We took care of business. Brian Kelly took care of business. Marcus Freeman took care of business. Dogs were barking on Saturday, at least for me. You were obviously on fire as well. But, yeah, That's all I got for college football. Forgive me, I was a little long-winded there.
Yeah, the defense and the special teams putting up 14 points for the Irish definitely helped out and make that one get a lot further away.
Pick six was just beautiful. Also, how about underbetters? 35 points in the fourth quarter. Oh, man. Roughest beat I've seen in a cool minute. 35 points in the fourth quarter. Yikes.
All right. Like, retweet, follow, sub. Where are we starting off in the NBA today?
Man, we're gonna make it really quick with the picks that I have for tonight. Listen, I'm on the New Orleans Pelicans bounce back today. It's -5.5 against the Indiana Pacers. I know people are high on the Pacers here at the crib. I don't know why the line is only 5.5. I really don't give a fuck about who's playing and who's not. This New Orleans Pelicans team is better. I believe that Indiana is one of those teams that are in the Wembanyama Olympics. I like the over as well on this one, but my play is the New Orleans Pelicans -5.5 full game. -110. It's pretty much self-explanatory. Again, bounce back situation. I think that you got BI here. I think BI comes out, has a very solid game. He hasn't been great since returning from injury. I think he's gotten a couple of those games under his belt. I think that this is it's a smash spot for the New Orleans Pelicans. -5.5. Obviously, a lot of the times I like to stay away from that number. I do feel confident laying the points with these two teams and the way the matchups should ensue.
I like it. I like it. Where are we going for number 2? Because didn't take a big look at this NBA slate.
Yep, Milwaukee.
The Sixers still suck and still refuse to watch. No, I don't refuse to watch them, but it is rough times. Suns, no thank you. Where's the second one?
Next spot is going to be in the Milwaukee-Atlanta game. Let's just be honest. Milwaukee's the best team in basketball right now. I think they're kind of they're kind of on a you must have forgot world tour type of deal right now. Because people must have forgot how fucking good they've been the last 5 years. They've been the best team in basketball over the last 5 years. There's no question. They have the most wins. I think that what people forget is that when a team is continuously good throughout the regular season, they no longer put the same level of energy into the regular season. We saw last year, Brook Lopez missed like 2/3 of the year. They gave up everything from the three-point line. Brook Lopez is looking like a defensive player of the year right now. I mean, the way he's holding down the paint for Milwaukee and the way that they're defending the three-point line right now is just absolutely off the chain. They look like an elite offensive and defensive team. They look like everyone is bought into a defensive identity that they haven't had in the last few years, which is why my favorite play in this one is the under. I think that both teams are fully capable of getting out and scoring a lot of points, but I think that Atlanta has done a very good job of changing up what they do in the half-court offense with using Trae Young a little bit more off ball, and then integrating a guy like DeJounte, who's highly efficient as far as how many touches he, like how often he, how much he dribbles the ball, how well he plays in pick and roll, and how well he's able to open up the floor for other people. Obviously, Trae Young's never had that. They're clearly first in their division right now. We're still kind of waiting on the Miami Heat to wake the fuck up. We don't know if that's even going to happen. Although Max Strus has played himself into a nice little contract. He's going to get a bag from somebody, if not Miami. But I do like the under 226 at -110 in Milwaukee, Atlanta. I think both teams play better defense than that number entails. I think it sails under 2. I think the winner of the game probably scores about 110 points, 105.
Can't disagree. Cannot disagree with you on that one at all there.
And third one is the third NBA play for me tonight is going to be in the New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves game. Obviously, there's some history here. Thibodeau, former coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. There's still some players left on that roster from when he was the head coach. I think it's a high motivation spot because the state of Minnesota doesn't necessarily like Tom Thibodeau, the way he skated on the organization. I like the first half team total over 59.5 for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I expect tonight to be an Anthony Edwards night too. I'm pretty sure I'll be betting his points, maybe laddering it up. You're going to get a great number tonight against the Knicks. And I like his matchup against the guards for the Knicks. I mean, they're relatively undersized at point guard. Grimes doesn't really scare me as far as like this defensive stopper. I think the idea of his defense is actually better than it actually is with the substance of it. I think Edwards like 23.5. You take him up to 25. I might sprinkle 30. I love the matchup tonight for him against this Knicks team. I think 30s are like plus 300 when I've seen it, something closer around there. But I other than that, I'm really loving the. I really do like the Timberwolves to bounce back. I believe also Mitchell Robinson is out. I believe so. I could be wrong, but again, that's my favorite look. First half team total over 59.5. I think both teams touch 60 in the first half. Minnesota for sure.
Yes, sir.
Those are my 3 locks. Make sure you guys are tuned in at 4 p.m. with the crew from Calling the Shots. We're going to go through the whole NBA slate for everyone. Me, Rex, Prop. We'll have some other guys on there. I think Matt will probably join. We'll have a few people pop in and just give some takes. If you want to, share what your thoughts are on the NBA, make sure you tap in with us at 4 p.m. via Calling Shots TV on Twitter.
You used the L word there, Sosa.
Yeah, lock in.
What number do you got on our Nova under on the book?
I currently have. I think I have it. I think I had it at 139. I think that was the number.
If I see 137.5 on FanDuel, if you can get us
130, that's what I have too. I don't have nothing. Let me check somewhere else.
I was about to say, because you always know for college hoops and all the games that we're betting, we bet at the line of the show. We don't give you our CLV from 5 hours ago and brag on it and make you not get the same exact play as us. We liked it at 139, 137.5 is a little bit too short for us.
Yeah, it's again, the numbers. Obviously, they made us a lot of money last year with the unders, right?
And it's in the Finneran Pavilion too, which is why I extra like it. You got Fran Dunphy back for LaSalle. You got 2 players out for Nova. Oh no, we got the bots back, but that's kind of where.
Yeah, I personally
no slander. See. Because we already know Kevin C. was saying he was ready for the Nova slander. No slander from us. I can't hate him anymore. Jay Wright's gone. I have to kind of like him now, right?
And I don't understand how you could not like Jay Wright. That was always weird. That's like one of the weird things for me that I found a bit strange with you, to be honest. Like, how do you not like Jay Wright? He's like one of the coolest dudes ever, and I think he fits the profile of somebody that you would find to be cool. Like,
TV, he'll be great. That coaching at Villanova, just a bad dude.
I will say this though. I think a lot of people expect some level of fall off from Villanova. I don't. I think he left the program in about the best shape that you possibly can. He handpicked his successor, and I think that he's still playing a huge role with the university to maintain the legacy that he's built there. The program was in good hands before he showed up, and then when he showed up, he took them to another level, partially with innovation of using small ball and really playing high level guard basketball. I think the fact that he was able to pick the guy to replace him speaks volumes. I think it makes the transition much easier, especially for players who have already been in the building for 1 year. So I think a lot of people are expecting a fall off. Listen, I see a lot of people very, very high on Creighton. I think Creighton will be good, but I think that they're wildly overrated entering the season. I'll be totally honest with you. I feel like I never trust a Creighton team unless Doug McDermott's on it. And he ain't there. And Junior, not the father. The Junior, not the father. I know people are like super high on them. Buyer beware. Because they might have some big games during the regular season, but I don't see Creighton as this like juggernaut. They're projected to be in the conference. I don't know about you, but that's just how I feel. I could never trust a Creighton team. I don't trust any teams from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, Creighton. To be seen on them. I think they'll be solid as usual at home, but I'm just happy that Mike White's finally out of Florida, so I think they can finally blast off and stop from being held back. But before we get into the 3 plays, so where's Stonehill College? It's a new D1 team this year.
Stonehill, South Carolina.
Nah, Massachusetts.
Damn. See, I see. You know what I just did there, right? There's a city in South Carolina called Rock Hill. So I'm thinking maybe it's right up the street. No? All right. Fair enough.
Because I believe there's 7 new D1 teams today. Like Linwood is another one where they just picked out random fucking schools this year to bring up. But that's where you get when you get your action today. We got 3 plays to start off the season. We'll follow Sosa's trend. The first one, our man is gone from Santa Clara, but I think they still continue rolling this year. First time we're laying points. Santa Clara -6.5, sitting there at -110. At home, I'm not playing any huge spreads today. We're going to keep it on the ones there with Eastern Washington coming in. The team doesn't travel historically well, and Eastern Washington's defense is going to be the culprit. So that's the first one of the day. Second play, we're fading the steam. Bowling Green opened at a pick'em. Now they've already favorites to 3.5. So give me Air Force plus 3.5 at -110. No key injuries for Air Force out. I think this is a pure shop steam movement. I like the 3.5 there, as I have this one as a true pick'em. I think we definitely even see overtime in that game here because we always bet a fun one with overtime to start off the season. Sosa, what's your play of the day?
I am going to actually play a -36. No, I'm just playing. I'm rocking with Memphis tonight, -2.5. Penny beat all the allegations. I like, listen, I like Vanderbilt. I like Jerry Stackhouse. I think he's a
New court. Did they be on the new court tonight?
He's an up and coming star in the coaching ranks. But listen, for me in this one, I think that Penny's on a mission. He got his players in. First year, he didn't have to deal with a bunch of scandal. He beat every single allegation against his name in the summer. I think we're gearing up this season for a Houston-Memphis dogfight. When those two teams play this year, it's going to be demons exercised both times. And they're going to play in the conference title game. We already know that. Memphis has to win tonight. Why? Because I think Houston and Memphis are on a collision course to beat the shit out of who they play in the conference, and that these games are going to matter come tournament time. I think that you're going to see a level of focus from those two programs. I mean, Houston's ranked 3 to enter the season.
Yep.
That's insane. No one saw that coming. And I thought they'd be good, but top 3 is crazy. I think both teams know, listen, beginning of the season, we're going to have to get out here and beat the shit out of the teams that we're supposed to beat the shit out of. And to get 2.5 line against Vanderbilt, I'm rocking with Penny, win or lose. But again, the 2.5, I'm laying the 2.5, and I'm rocking with Penny and the boys tonight. That's me.
The game is also on, I think it's SEC Network Plus, not even big SEC Network. So good luck trying to find some of these plentiful of games out there today because it might get a little tough.
Absolutely.
Not back in North Carolina today?
I mean, I back them every day. I mean, listen, I haven't really been able to give my take because we really haven't gone over college hoops at all.
John Shire's first start back in Doogies?
I think we roll through the season. North Carolina, I think we roll through the season. I think that we understand the goal at hand is to win a championship. Anytime you make a run, you bring back 90% of the team. The expectations change, obviously, but you've weathered that season before. Outside of losing Brady Manick, I think that this is a team that could dominate in the ACC and Duke really be the only super question mark. I think Virginia will be decent too. They'll be better than people. And then obviously Florida State always fights. But I think it's a North Carolina conference, and I think that it becomes a one-year deal with us. We're playing for one thing and one thing only, a championship. And that's the goal. And I think that North Carolina is going to be right there at the end, top 4. I mean, bro, we're like 1 or 2 rebounds away from winning the championship last year with a team that was barely 500 halfway through the season.
Yep.
So if you want to know the truth, my expectations are through the fucking roof. I did not see RJ Davis. I did not see Caleb ascending the way they did last year come tournament time, because we always knew that was the case with North Carolina. We've been great on the front line. We rebound the ball well. We beat people up in the paint. That's been the case for years at North Carolina. The only time that we've been successful, though, and won, our guards, you have to have guards play well. You can have all the frontline guys you want. You can out-rebound teams all you want. If you can't hit threes and make shots, it don't mean shit. Because we've always had bigs that were dominant in college and sucked in the pros. I mean, Kennedy Meeks and those guys were fucking great.
Facts.
Double-double machine. Baycott, double-double machine. We didn't start doing shit until Caleb and RJ decided, hey, we're going to hit some fucking threes. Once they start hitting threes, it makes it that much easier because can't nobody buy a board. It's every possession is down the court for the other team. It's one and done. But if you're not making shots down the other side, you're gonna keep minute. So again, for North Carolina, my expectations are through the roof. I 100% believe that we're the best team in the country and that we will ascend to that, as the season goes on. No question in my mind.
All right, and the final play of the day for me took a long way to get there. You always know we like to have our little interludes there, but I'm going to be rocking Kent State on the money line at minus 105.
Open the season?
Maction versus Horizon action going into Northern Kentucky.
Ooh, okay.
Back in the MAC team on a Monday. Three plays right there for you.
Monday MAC money. I like that.
Yeah, you know we don't like our huge spreads because especially in game one here, it's real tough to be buying into that because I think Ole Miss rolls Alcorn. But laying 20, it's a tough way to do. I think Florida rolls today. Laying 24, and you can also look team totals, but they're sitting up in the 80s.
Listen, and we got to drop the warning. Listen, guys. Just because a team has a 30-point spread does not mean you're supposed to hammer the first half. There's going to be a lot of dickheads you hear on the internet tell you to do that. Do not listen to them. Do not. Because I'm trying to find an angle. We got to try. No, dog. Just if you're not taking them full game, leave the fucking game alone. Because both teams start at 0, and it's their first live action against anyone. Like, don't be out here talking about, oh, they should just beat the shit out of them. Like, bro, like these are 19, 20, and 21-year-old children. Like, they're still kids. Because I promise you, you're going to get in spaces today, and you're going to hear dickheads tell you, just take the first half. No, do not do that. Do not do that. Lay off. Chill out. Pick your spots. Listen to this guy, and we're gonna be all right. Don't be out here blowing your fucking your bankroll on night one. It's 199 college basketball games today. You don't have to bet 50 of them. Respectfully, I that's just my only warning to people. Please don't be fucking stupid and think that just because a team is favored by 30, they're just going to run somebody out in the first half. Do not listen to those people. They do not know what the fuck they're doing.
Shout out Sincere Carey, scoring point guard that's going to get it done for us tonight for the Flashes.
Yes, sir. Is he any good? Is he good like the other light-skinned guy from Ohio who's not doing anything in the league?
He's better.
Word? Okay.
Let's get to the Ravens versus Saints.
Let's get to it. Listen, I think the line should be more. Obviously, Baltimore absolutely decimated by injury. No Mark Andrews. Rashad Bateman got placed on IR. It's basically Lamar and the Pips, right? It's Lamar and the Pips, bro. Like that's what it's going to be. But I think that's how it's going to be. That's how it's got to be, right? Lamar.
Well, I mean, who does the Saints really have on offense? It's Olave and who?
And they got Olave. I mean, Olave, Kamara coming off a 4-touchdown game. The offensive line is getting healthy. Listen, this guy Pete Warner for the Saints. Oh my, he's like, some guys pop off the tape. He pops off the tape. Go look, bro. That game, he's nice. They got, and like I said, the defense is getting healthier. It's just, like I said, it's just an interesting situation. I don't trust Andy Dalton. Obviously, Andy Dalton has a lot of history against the Ravens, having played, I believe, 9 years in Cincinnati. So he has a lot of familiarity. They have a lot of familiarity with him as far as like franchise to franchise. The game being in the Dome makes me believe that there should be points on both sides. I don't particularly trust Andy Dalton to go out there and get me 30 points. And I also need Lamar Jackson to get me like 18 points in fantasy in my big money league. So I'll be cheering him on quite for all evening. I'm on the Ravens to win the game. I mean, you're going to give me a price. I think the price was minus 124 that I got for the money line. I love it. It's definitely playable. I like them minus 1.5 too, because if they're going to win on a field goal, my man Justin Tucker going to at least make that bitch last by 2, right? You feel me?
My biggest thing here is I think this is one of the easier over spots that we have of the season for some reason.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I think Lamar, even though the Saints secondary is getting a little bit healthier, I still think his explosiveness is there. And this is the time where I'm still not going to trust the Ravens corners. And then with the versatility of Kamara, I think this one goes easy over the total. Andy Dalton prime time too. So, whew, it's a good narrative we got out there.
Yes, sir. I mean, again, it's tough for me to pick anybody offensively on the Saints. It's tough to do the same on Baltimore. It really is. Because again, their top two targets are not playing. I mean, I guess Isaiah Likely is a nice candidate, but I haven't even really seen props for him. Olave obviously would be the guy. I don't know how much Marlon Humphrey commits to him as far as playing defense against him. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with this sentiment at 100%. I mean, it's proven. If you get the ball to Alvin Kamara, you have a better chance of winning
Yeah.
football games. The games when they don't get him the rock, we see how that's worked out. But yeah, again, it's about picking your spots. I'm on Baltimore to win. I like Baltimore on the money line. I like them on the -1.5. If you don't want to, if you want to get the extra, like to lower the juice just slightly. But as far as the props, it's too difficult. Y'all don't have to see Spin Doctor for that one.
Yes,
I
sir.
got too much for that. Other than
Not
that,
much left.
Sixers play tonight. I think Embiid goes. If Embiid goes, I probably still won't bet the game. It's as simple as that. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Again, huge slate of basketball tonight. Catch some spaces at 4 p.m. In 2 hours from now, we're going to break down just about the entire slate, give people an opportunity to share their best bets of the day in the NBA. And yeah, send us home.
Yep. Other than that, like, retweet, follow, sub, started it off with the 3 NBA plays. Then we got into the 3 college hoops action. And then we wrapped it up with Monday Night Football. We'll be back at you live later this week, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. You never know with us, but we appreciate everyone always tapping in. We out.